Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. So this time we're going to take a look at my anime collection, and I was going to script this video, but I figured, you know what, I will remove that safety net under my feet and just kind of improvise. So what I'm doing is basically I'm just recording myself watching or scrubbing through the footage that I recorded, and then I'll just overlay, all the stuff that, or all the imagery there afterwards. And yeah, I think, that's a good thing when it comes to this channel. I kind of like having, not so much scripted stuff here. All right, so on your screen, you will see that there's two piles at the moment. This is my anime collection. It's not very large, it's like a couple of DVDs and stuff, and Blu-ray, of course, as you can see with all the blue bits there. The left pile is everything that is not Strike Witches, and the right pile is everything that is Strike Witches. So yeah, that's heavily biased there, my collection. It's just so you know, there's actually in that pile, there's one anime, Sora no Otoshimono, which I just like recently got a few days ago in the mail. That's not in the pile, but it will be shown later. So yeah, I'm gonna go through the not Strike Witches pile, and then once that's done, I'm gonna shove Strike Witches down your throat for the remainder of the video. So yeah, that's basically the game plan there. Right, so Spice and Wolf, Season 2, actually. I don't have Season 1, which is a bit of a weird way to start the video, I guess. By the way, you'll hear me clicking just because I'm going through the video here as I'm talking. But it's, I think, like a limited edition thingy, and basically you're supposed to put the first season in there, and it's like, I guess I never bought it. Maybe it was out of stock or something, but I never got around to actually buying the first season there. Yeah, it's very good art. I do like the art on this, on all the, the packaging and stuff. Really like Spice and Wolf. It's been a long time since I've watched it, but very, very different from basically any other anime that I can think of. People always say like, it's like, what is it? It's like the stock market, the anime or something, but I don't know. That makes it sound kind of more boring than it actually is. Excellent music and all that stuff. Let's see. And look at this thing that I saved here. This was like, you know how it's shrink wrap, right? This was stuck on the shrink wrap on the back. So basically, I wanted to save that, so I stuck it on a piece of paper and then I cut it out kind of wonkily. And anyways, the reason is because the limited edition or the box thing, it has an image on there, so, but I wanted to save it, so there you go. And look at that, it's Neptunia. I did an entire video about this, but yeah, on the main channel there. I do think it was actually pretty good. It's, in terms of showing you the world of, game industry, it's quite well done. I think the art style is pretty decently matched to the original. Of course, it looks different, but I think they did a good job. It's a bit weird how the case doesn't hold the two, like the box bit doesn't, like there's a gap there, so it's not really a snug fit, so they just kind of rock around there, those two DVD cases, so that's not ideal. I like how oh yeah, here's another bit of shrink-wrapped thing that I kept. Oh, I guess that wasn't shrink-wrapped, that was probably underneath or something, underneath the shrink-wrap, but covering this image of Neptune there. But I like how the descriptions are like, these girls are next gen, even though that's not true. They're technically like really last gen, because like PS3, Xbox 360, and Wii, those were the consoles that were parodied before it kind of changed into, being more about the brand rather than the exact consoles. So even back then, they were not next gen. Like, when did this come out? 2013 or so? Yeah, it's, not quite. I definitely wouldn't call it next gen, but, whatever. The DVD cases are pretty cool, like the art. You can see here, there's the outsides, but the insides have art as well. So if you're wondering, hey, where's the other two goddesses? Well, they're in there, and technically you could flip everything around and have those goddesses be the cover. So it's cool that you get kind of choices there. All right, next up is Saranawoto, or Sound of the Sky. This is one I don't think many people know about, and I think because of the K-On! Art style, it's kind of, people probably had an idea of what it was supposed to be, like, because that's like the Moe Blob era, right? And I think it was just kind of dismissed as being like, oh, military K-On! But there's actually a lot of stuff going on, like a lot of serious themes are discussed. It's also, I think, pretty funny, but in like a very endearing way. This is one of my favorite animes, and I think one of the reasons is because the music, I think, is really incredible. The setting is amazing as well. Like Suenza in Spain, I think, is the actual place where that's based on the setting is based on there, and it's very stunning looking. Medieval town/city. But this whole theme of like the world is ending, and like so many things are there, like religion, and the idea of different religions picking up different things of things that may not be right, true, or having their own interpretation of old myths, and then those having be opposing sides and all that stuff. It's really interesting. In fact, there's actually, I think 4chan did this back in the day. I think this is like a 2010 anime. Correct me if I'm wrong, if anybody knows this right now. Since I'm not scripting this, I don't know right now, but thereabouts anyways. 2010, 2011. But the thing is that there's so much detail going on in the background, foreshadowing, references to real life things and all that sort of thing, that 4chan, they actually compiled like these episode, I don't know what you call them, like references. I'll show them on the screen there, but basically it goes into detail of all the things that are spotted in the background, and you can really tell that the world lore is really deep in this anime. I was gonna say game. I always talk about games, I almost said game, but yeah, the show is something else. I kind of like that there isn't any more to this, because it's like this little package of joy. I say joy, but it's emotionally speaking, there's a wide range of serious and funny, and I don't want to say roller coaster of emotions, because it's not just up and down, but it's a spectrum, let's say that. And this box itself here, like, it's so well done. Like, look at all the stuff that's going on here in like in terms of the thought that went into visual themes and all that. And that's the DVD, and then the Blu-ray is just like, here's the Blu-ray, and it's so much less. It's definitely not in the same level as the DVD. So, but hey, it's Blu-ray, so it looks better, right? Also, the artist, the character designer of Sora Nomoto is also the artist for some of the Arland trilogy games. No, wait, it's not a trilogy. The point is the Arland games of the Atelier series. So that's an interesting factoid there. Okay, here's now some that I haven't watched yet. It's season 1 and 2 of Senran Kagura. And yeah, I really want to watch those there. Ninja Flash is the first season. Shinobi Master is the second, apparently. The irony of having a huge sign that says totally uncensored on a Funimation, localized thing is, yeah, that's a thing. But let's not go down that topic at the moment. Yeah, I haven't watched any of this. So apparently, the first season is kind of like, I guess, like the DS game, as well as like the DS game there. And then Shinobi Master, series 2 or second season actually just has the other characters that didn't exist in the DS game suddenly appear. I asked someone this, by the way, if there's actually you know, if there's like did they actually introduce, you know, did they introduce Yumi and, you know, the entire rest of her crew there, or is it, you know, is she just there and without explanation? Apparently it's without explanation, I'm told, so yay, that's fun. I don't know if there's like OVAs between these two seasons, so maybe I have to do some looking up. But yeah, nothing too special here. You know, it's, of course the art's well done, and anyways, it looks cool. I still need to watch it, and maybe I'll get back to you. That'll probably be a video on the main channel, actually. Game to Anime, because I did that with Neptunia. Why shouldn't I do it with Senran Kagura? And here's the game that that wasn't in the pile. It's Sora no Otoshimono, whatever that means again. Heaven's Lost Property is the localization. I have a lot of Funimation stuff, I've just realized. And this is a very ecchi show. I read through the entire manga as well. A lot of fun. It's been a while, though. And there's, I don't know, I think there's a lot I've forgotten about this. Instead of remembering bits of the show and the manga, it's more like I remember the feeling. Like, you know, that's sort of, you know, how we feel about it. It's like, I really enjoyed this, but I can't really put my finger on why. Well, I mean, other than the ecchi aspect, I mean, look at it, geez. That's Ikaris there. And, oh, I forgot about her whole watermelon obsession thing. That's why that's on her head. But yeah, I like how, like, these characters are just chilling out on her boobs there. I want to get the other seasons too. There's season 2, and then there's a movie. So, that's cool. I'm hoping somebody's going to gift me a Amazon gift card so I can get the other ones, you know, for Christmas there. Also, season 2 has, I'm just looking through Amazon right now. It has Astria on the top. I really like Astria. She's like not the smartest character ever, but I don't know, but she has more depth than her supposed lack of intelligence would you know, would suggest. But not just that, she's also like really hot, and that's another good reason to like her, I guess. But overall, I think you know, the main characters overall are all pretty likable, and I do really enjoy the humor as well. And oh boy, time for Strike Witches. All right, I have season 1 multiple times. This is the very first season 1 of Strike Witches. If you don't know, Strike Witches is basically girls are witches. Imagine that. And it's like alternate reality, World War II. They're not fighting each other, the nations. It's aliens called Neuroi. They're invading, and these witches can wear airplane leg things and fly through the sky and defeat the aliens. So yay. And they wear no pants, which is amazing, right? That's how you do it. So this is season 1 DVD. There's a lot of creativity actually in this package. I like, you know, the whole winning war on pants is like, okay, let's, you know, that kind of dumbs down what the series is about, because it is smarter than the lack of pants would suggest. But I do think the package is actually quite creative. And look at the inside. Would Funimation ever do this nowadays? Like, they have like a sheet there of, you know, you can see like, you know, these are the girls, and then it shows you the country, their familiar and rank and weapon. And then under the colors, it just basically shows their undies. And yes, you can actually tell the characters apart by just looking at their butt or their underwear. So it's like, imagine living with that knowledge that you can just identify people based on their underwear. Like Lucchini has the stripes, and Perrin has the tights and the low leg white panties, and Lynette has like the panties with the green bow on the front. It's like, I don't know. This is strange knowledge to have in my brain, apparently. But there you go. But yeah, I think that's well done. I have another version of the season 1. This is how much I love Strike Witches. I collected the different versions of the DVD releases. I don't think Blu-ray was out at this point. And this one just has Yoshika on the front. This is much more simple. it's cool how much cleaner the front image is. Like, it's not cluttered. I do like the more original look. Like, that's how the original Strike Witches stuff looked in Japan as well. But I do miss that some of the creativity was lost there, though there's a bit going on in the back, but that's not quite as good. If we have a look at the inside, yeah, it's quite simple here, even though the DVDs all look the same. There's like a little beach scene going on. There's actually another one that was sent back, or that returned. So it was like I think it was a Blu-ray, one version of the Blu-ray or something, in a sleeve, but the sleeve was as tall as a DVD, but the Blu-ray, of course, was shorter. So basically, what always happened was the top, or I think it was the top, was always crushed. And I was like, I returned it to Amazon. I'm like, okay, it's not arrived damaged. In the end, they're like, okay, just return it, but you can't reorder it anymore. So they're like, stop that, please. I'm like, I'm sorry for being a collector and wanting it in good condition. Then there's the Blu-ray version, which is, I don't know, the quality is just getting worse, isn't it? You'll notice, by the way, a bit of a theme going on in the future there. In the beginning, they weren't really afraid to show, Yoshika's rear end there, but once we get to some future releases, you'll notice some attempts to be modest, let's call it. So yeah, I own season 1 3 times, 2 times in DVD, but actually technically 3 times in DVD because the DVD is included here with the Blu-ray as well. So, geez, talk about overkill, Christ. Yeah, this is the Save series with that really awful greatest hits style thing going on here. The anime version of greatest hits going on. Yeah, I obviously reversed the cover because that's hideous. Oh, look, we finally moved on to season 2 of the show. Jesus. So yeah, that is season 2. There we go. Group shot at the front. Yeah, they weren't too afraid of the crotch shot in season 2, it seems, because yeah, well, that's visible, isn't it? And there's butt on the back as well. Season 2 was animated by a different studio. First it was Gonzo, wasn't it? And then I forgot who did season 2, but it changed. Also, Mio's voice actor was different as well. I mean, it's not particularly exciting. It's one of those, it's like season 1, but it's the second one. It's all kind of done in the same style, but yeah, there definitely creativity is missing. I wonder if the first edition looked different. So maybe that's a thing. I bought these, later down the line, I suppose. So maybe the original DVDs were a better thing. Now Strike, which is the movie. Movie was interesting. I think they could have done that better overall with how Hattori was just kind of, I don't know, she, like, the way she was introduced, I think that could have been done better, like character evolution and stuff like that. It also showed the 502 group thing. The 52nd. How do you ever you pronounce that? The Brave Witches cast. They were shown there. Unfortunately, there's the Operation Victory Arrow OVAs. It's like 3 of them, I think, and it covers basically. It leads up to the movie, and it shows different groups. But that's never been released on DVD, so you just gotta watch it on the internet there, or download it or something. But it's a bit unfortunate because there's some cool stuff like, just to some character development, I guess, or perhaps character building. You get more insight into the characters while before the movie starts. So I think that's pretty cool. Some cool episodes that unfortunately are not released. They love their sleeves here with these, don't they? Well, I guess maybe that's just the thing. The DVDs, oh man, look how boring that is, jeez. That background is just a sunset thing. It's not terribly exciting, is it? And then we have Brave Witches, which I think is really underrated. People were not digging it, apparently. Here we can see some of the attempts at modesty to, like, grade out Hikari's butt there. So, but once you take the sleeve off, it's you can enjoy the full effect. Oh, jeez. Well, except that it's covered by the logo, but whatever. I think Hikari is like a really good protagonist because Yoshika is like in Strike Witches, she's all like, reluctant to go to war, and but she has great magical power, and basically because she has great magical power, she kind of, that's how she compensates for the fact that she's, not experienced. Whereas Hikari is completely the opposite. She's eager to basically live up to her famous sister's name and make herself or try to be as successful as her, or be with her there fighting. But she doesn't have lots of magical power or output, so she does lots of training, she puts in a lot of effort, and there's a lot of persistence. So I think she's like a really realistic character and I really like that. And instead of being like, oh, you've been bestowed a gift, I will overpower everything now, you have somebody here who can beat the odds by being persistent. And that's those are real life stories that happen every day. People don't like the rich kid, they like the person that worked their way up to become successful, right? So, and she's kind of like the equivalent of that. But when it comes to anime, people are always the opposite. They want the protagonist to have a power, and it's like, and then they just one shot their enemies after having a speech for 5 minutes. It's like, that's not really my thing. So and also this whole sibling rivalry, and also the fact that just aces and pilots and all that stuff, like in World War II, there's so much crossover with like motorsports and competition and etiquette, and there's, I don't know, it's just, I can get into that mindset really well. So I think this show does it well. The fight scenes aren't that great. They look a little bit weird. I think there's some things with the anime that they could have done better. But overall, I think it's really good. And especially the last couple episodes are really cool, I think. Which I won't spoil because some people might want to watch that. Most boring DVDs ever and blue discs ever, right? I mean, look at that nonsense. Jeez. Also, they like to put the German characters in charge, don't they, in the World Witches series? By the way, that's what it's called. People call it Strike Witches, but it's the World Witches series. Strike Witches are a group of them. There's Brave Witches, there's other, groups and stuff. So, yeah, that's just a thing there. I think that World Witches name came retrospectively. And now here's something that I also isn't received well, but I really enjoyed it. And this is Strike Witches. I can't read what it says right now. But it's the spin-off one with the shorter episodes where the art style is, really purposely cartoony and wonky. But the thing is, basically, it's you take the first and second seasons, put them together, and then just poke fun at everything. And I think it's actually really enjoyable if you're a fan. I like how self-aware it is also. And you get interesting reversals where many, even the silly characters will be more silly, but sometimes they'll play the straight man in different situations. I don't know, it just seems to match my humor. There's like it's, I think, a good parody of itself. And of course, the more you know about the series, the better, the more enjoyable it is. Don't expect this to be the new Strike Witches. It's a season. It's it's just supposed to be like, if you enjoy the show, have fun. Also, notice how it says in Canada this is rated 14A rather than TV MA in some places. This is TV 14 as well for the US, but if we back up to Brave Witches, the back will actually reveal. Yeah, there's like a sticker here. So instead of being TVMA in the US, in Canada it's 14A. So obviously Canada doesn't think that nipples hurt anybody. Oh yeah, that's something I should mention too. Every Strike Witches or Brave Witches season, except for that parody one, has nipples. So they don't really. So Canada doesn't really care too much about the nipplage aspect of the thing. And also the show, over the years, I've noticed that compared to season 1, which is like, you know, an oasis of camel toe. It's like that just kind of starts to go away, and yeah, there were so many gratuitous crotch shots in the first season, and then it just doesn't fully go away, but it's not really such a big deal because it's more than just zooming in on the naughty bits, right? But it's kind of, I guess that's kind of what's happening these days, so I couldn't help but notice. But yeah, that's that. My anime collection. It's not very large, very biased. It's like 40% to strike, which is uh, that's well, I'm gonna get the new one as well, and Sora no Otoshima no. I want to complete that little set there as well. So yeah, maybe if you have any suggestions on what other things I could share, like I could probably show you my Strike Witches collection overall if anybody cares. I don't know what else would you like to see. I don't really have collections, just bits and bobs of animes that I like, I guess. Bit of merch here and there. But anyways, I hope you found that fun. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you again soon in another video.